Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod in the 40 unit save version. And we left off abruptly last time, but we left off with this battle here for Corsica, and we're going to go ahead now and continue and accomplish this. We are outnumbered, the power meter is against us, but I think and I'm hoping the quality of our troops will outshine on this one and lead us to victory. We are vastly outnumbered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cavalry versus the 2 that we have. So I'm not really going to have a lot of, more than likely, a lot of opportunities to take out these mortars. So I'm going to have to rely on my own artillery, and we'll see if they set up in such a way as to cause us issues. We will see if they want to surrender, which they won't. And we'll meet you down there on the battlefield. Get this episode going off real fast on the right foot. Alright, looks like a nice battlefield location. They have a pretty small zone with which to set up. In fact, their zone goes back really deep, so let's hope they're set up way in the back with infantry units and put all their mortars up front, and then we will run out to try and take them out. But otherwise, I'll be right back with our setup, and we'll review that and get this battle started. Alright, totally a non-traditional setup for me, but I do fear, as you know, the mortars. We have our cavalry up front just in case the opportunity arises, even though I kind of think it won't. We have our artillery right up front to hopefully accomplish that task of taking out their mortars. That's what we'll focus on. We have some square formation, on either side to help protect against their cavalry. I have 2 regiments here just for melee to help out and protect any charges against the artillery. Otherwise, the main line is a little farther back to hopefully keep it a little safer, depending on where they're, because the only good thing about the mortars is they have limited range compared to our artillery. So this is our opening gambit. We're going to see if it works. In fact, let's get the artillery set and targeted first, so when we start this battle we can hopefully pound their mortars, and if they leave them mistakenly unprotected, we are going to move in and take advantage with our cavalry. So let's find out. Here we go. And they're right up front. And we are moving in with the cavalry right away. Worry about their cavalry a ton because there are a lot of them. They could be countering us. Let's hope we only have a couple salvos that we have to worry about here before our cavalry arrives. One cavalry unit over on this side. We're going to put the other cavalry a unit on this side. It was fun watching the mortar cannonball fall through the screen when we were and they're hitting. We're going to take our own artillery off of that duty because the artillery was able to do it, and we'll put it on their regiment of horse, which is their advantage. They did bring cavalry in to counter us, but right now they set up too far back, and we're going to try and take out their best opportunity to win this battle right now. Now, unfortunately, our cavalry here is going to have to withdraw unless it's too late. Yet they're already withdrawing. But it looks like all the mortars are taken care of. So let's get all our cavalry, let's get all our cavalry retreated. And we have free reign of the battlefield once again. With that in mind, what we can do is maybe bring some of our infantry units up for a more traditional setup. And we got cavalry moving in on this side, so what we're going to do is switch to some square formations here. Because they showed up. Oh, that's my own cavalry. I take that back. I'm afraid. I'm so cavalry afraid right now. I'm paranoid with my own cavalry. So let's get this wing moved up. Unfortunately, this other one is retreating, and their retreat is just not working. If they were smart, they would have retreated back towards our lines, but instead I lose this regiment of cavalry big time. They've only got what, like 4 units left, four horsemen left. Yikes. Can they march in square formation? We're about to find out. I didn't think so. So let's bring our grenadiers over in this direction so they can cover the flank. And we got the big charge of the cavalry coming up. They took care of one of our artillery units. I think it's time to get focus back over here with the other cavalry artillery, and oh boy, I take that back. We're going to bring forward some melee units to try and thwart this cavalry here. Round of canister helping out a little. Now we have mostly militia moving in on us, so we'll take ourselves out of square formation here. We'll keep the melee attack going here, and we'll see if we can't get our canister shot re-aimed farther in the distance. Actually, the canister shot has retreated. Let's get you guys back on the cannons. And some of their mortars have reappeared to bombard us. That is not a good thing to see. And then our grenadiers over on the end here that were in square formation, we're going to have to convert them to melee attack. Try and hold up. Fortunately, it's a depleted unit over here. Hopefully our tough grenadiers will hang in there. And our melee units here have held against the cavalry. Let's see if we can continue that attack. See if they can get some canister fire off. And we're enclosed for a lot of melee over here. Which probably needs some help because all their militia is going hand to hand big time. We need our grenadiers out of this formation and in here to help us out also. We got to break this melee assault. Our commander, by charging in on our commander for this unit, was melee, was our cavalry. Let me bring up some of our reserves to help us out where our line has been depleted the most. We're just being overwhelmed here over on the left, which was a big fear of mine. The right is holding solid at the moment. And our grenadiers apparently did retreat, or they took out. Yeah, we're going to bring our grenadiers back, let them fire. They have chased off the cavalry over on the right. So the right is hanging tough, everything else is not. And unfortunately, our artillery is not doing well. So we've got retreating units here that we've got to get back into the fray before our left totally collapses. And we have no cavalry here to worry about. Let's get back into line formation and get this unit firing, since we have no artillery left to protect. fact, over here we're going to enfilade and try to set up some defenses over here. Or if and when our line folds on this side. And once again, this side is holding tight, so they've really taken it to, and we're just continuing to fold. Our morale is low with the general out of it. Change the melee attack over here and pick on this militia unit, and then start helping out here on the rest of our collapsing left. And they've closed for melee again over on this interior of the left. We're going to bring in our own troops for melee support, and we have no more reserves really. We can try patching the line with some battle-worn, easy to break potential units. Everywhere else I'm not worried about the line. And we finally have driven them off, yeah. I'm so concerned. We've drove them off. Our grenadiers back to try and patch this line back up, and our regimental horse back at this point to see what we can do. I'm gonna bring this. What have we got? We've got some militia off on the wings here. They're mortars that came back, even though it's not a full complement of mortars that's been taking it to us. So depending on what my cavalry looks like and how they're protected, I got militia behind a wall, general's bodyguard, so there's protection back there against them. So I guess we're gonna have to take some pounding here. It's time to pull back to some interior lines. He's exposed out here, and see if we can hold again. This is tough. The problem is these are militia conscripts that we should be able to handle, but we just got overwhelmed in melee battle. This is not pretty what you're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta hope that we can solidify somehow. Let's bring our fire on these conscripts with our grenadiers. And we're gonna flank shots over here. In fact, let's take both these and try and eliminate some of those flank shots if we can help it. working our cavalry back. So great attack on their part, smothering the left side of my line, and I did not kill enough. We got 4 mortars still firing, and that's what's super really aiding them in this battle right now, is the fact that we have those mortars. And my morale on my cavalry is just deplenished terribly. Okay, let's see if we can get a little flank maneuver over here on these guys of our own. So our line feels like it's starting to solidify, but we got mortars that are going to continue to pound us, so that's a concern. And even the grenadiers over on the wing are starting to fold. Time to bend this line back now too. This guy is showing that he's tired and needs to pull back. I mean, he's got to be getting worn out here and there too, just as much as we are. This is tough battle. We just don't have the resources to really push anywhere to try and take out those mortars. Especially with that General's bodyguard hovering back there. We may have just helped a little bit by taking that unit out. In fact, we're going to see if our cavalry can run him down to keep him from coming back. And therefore relieving these guys to come up over here. They are broken. We may see them again. Unfortunately, our line has many bad turns and bends, which kind of exposes this regiment to flanking fire. But this one is depleted over here on the wing, and if we can just bring enough firepower back on them to wear them out, we can correct the line and come back along to these militia conscripts. Okay, this unit will not come back anymore, I don't think, without cavalry engaged, chasing them down. A lot of their units, we probably could have been overwhelmed enough, but they have just a few units that are hanging back behind some layered wall defenses here and there, and some that have just weakened and retreating. Who knows why they haven't returned to battle. Start bringing our cavalry units back now. General's bodyguard is maneuvering over towards them. Bring our fire in closer. drive them off if possible. See if we could squeeze our cavalry in here without taking shots from this unit behind the walls. Afraid to run any of my units right now. They're so tired and worn and fragile. I'm going to see if we can squeeze them through there. If they take any shots, it could break them. And they couldn't make it. I just hoped upon hope to be able to take out those mortars. Well, it looks like we'll have to do it with maneuvering. Let's be able to work up there and still deal damage to these conscripts over here. It's gotta hurt them. Okay, we have driven off this unit, so it's time we can move forward. Try to bring all our overwhelming numbers at least at the point of the line on these units here. Boys are getting tired on this one. You can tell they are worn out. But we finally got this one to fold. Or waver at least, but it's steadied back up, so we just got to keep bringing fire on them. Yeah, I'm going to play the hunch that he will not be back. He's retreated that far already. Let's see if we can form our lines here and end the threat on this side so we can start advancing on that mortar, perhaps. Starting to run out of ammo. This battle's been going on so long, and when's the last time you've seen units run out of ammunition like that? Knowing that we have ammunition problems, I think we got to go for the flank charge right here to see if we can bring the final death knell on this unit. And while we're doing that, we're going to try straightening out the line right here to go against this unit. Bringing you in for melee also here as we're repositioning. You've got to overwhelm the guy. He's wavering also. The guy that had his flank is wavering and almost gone from our melee attack. We've broken him. Next in line, keep the melee going. If it worked once, let's get it to work again. We've got to get ourselves moving forward now. We'll go to the edge of the buildings here. We need to hold fire. as these guys retreat. And while we can, let's move up on these mortars. We'll walk at first because these guys have to be exhausted. No, fire at will, please. Let's get this side of the line moving up in support of the melee units. And see, we have it within us to end this battle in a victorious yet costly Pyrrhic fashion. Our boys hung tough. I really did not catch until it was too late the overwhelming numbers that came against our left. This last little distance, we have it within us to run. Now, very tired. We're just going to have them watch us advance. As long as they aren't pounding us, they also have the ammo limits? They may have hit their ammo limits too, I'm wondering. With that in mind, what's going to be the best way to approach them through the town? They got a wall position here. We'll get moving up through the town. Attack these mortars before we fade. Oh, we're taking fire. That's what's happening. Okay, the mortars are officially out. Let's withdraw from the fire here, guys. Hopefully without losing the regiment of grenadiers. Bring this regiment over, and we'll bring these lines over here to try and outflank them so that we can then come on this side for a side attack to help when we start moving up towards their front. Come on, guys. Forget that attack. I said we're retreating. We retreated into more gunfire. Well, if they're going to be behind walls, why don't we get ourselves behind walls? See if we can't counter them that way. Support on our guys. They're getting chased down again. Lost a couple more regiments to the mix due to sloppy maneuvering, just because I wanted to get this thing going and ending. And they're the ones that end up going after and taking the building. That's the armed citizenry that we're here against. So I'm thinking at this point, to heck with it, we got to charge on in. It's hard to tell who does, who doesn't have ammo. Militia, general's bodyguard. Bring these guys now with this in mind. We're going to bring them out this way because we cannot go against these wall positions head on. See if we can start picking them off piece by piece. We're vastly outnumbered, I would think, over here, so I don't know if we can hold on to this or not. We're getting one. The armed citizenry is wavering, thank goodness. And they're routing because they're broken. That is nice to have them out of the battle. So we can bring everybody to bear, fighting over these ruins. And they're forming their final lines over here that we're going to need to attack with limited ammo. Well, we definitely hold the building. And we're definitely wearing them down fast. But are we getting worn down just as much? Apparently not. Showing their first signs of wavering up here. And there they go. And they are shattered. So we do not have to worry about them at the moment. What I'm going to do is those units that I see with the most ammo, and unfortunately that one's retreating with a lot of ammo. I'd like to tell them to come back and return some of that ammo. So here are the best units we have with ammo. So we're going to get ready and take the battlefield this way with those units with ammo. And those units that do not have ammunition, those are going to be our melee units to help out that line, coming in off from another direction. Are we near the edge of the battlefield? Is that why it wouldn't allow me? No. And those will be the non-shooting units as we move against their final units holding the battlefield. So we'll take a pause here as I get repositioned and we'll come back and join this battle. Okay, we are pretty much back and repositioned over here just about. We're going to start our advance. We're going to move up to the top and the crest of this hill as our initial move. To come down on their line. And we're going to keep the militia in reserve if we feel the gun battle part is not going in our favor to charge on in. We'll let them rest before that becomes necessary, because as everybody is tired and very tired on this battlefield. And they've had the chance to rest a bit, so that's going to be in their advantage. What I think I'm going to do is tighten up this part of the line just a little bit so that I can then spread out, get maximum firepower from this unit, except the train is not helping much. And hope that our fire by rank can work to our benefit and overwhelm them a bit. So we're going to avoid the walls, even though it will give us extra protection, just so we can hopefully fire by rank into their line. We'll come up against one end of their line primarily to start with. We're almost in range. We're going to run the rest of the way. The rest of the line will start moving in also. See if we are able to open fire over here. We're just out of range, but they're moving in to help us out. Come on, guys, we need to form quickly. Stuff. Let's get behind the wall. whatever reason, we are not getting fire by rank here. Whereas we are in this unit. Behind the walls because they're wavering and they aren't firing by rank anyway. We're going to bring another regiment up if we can. Nah, this is about it. We're going to have these units firing away. We're going to be wavering here too. Let's get behind the walls. Garrison line infantry, everybody else is militia. This other unit up against the walls to bring some extra firepower. Let's see, they're not quite in range over here. With this in mind, we are going to relocate our melee infantry over here. Hopefully charge from the side as we hold this wall position. Hopefully hold this wall position. As we are wavering. Like, these guys are wavering so bad. I think we need to charge in our melee troops now. See if we can put some hurt on them. Give them too much to worry about. We've fallen back. We need to take this wall position back again. Oh, we're melee units here now too. We are out of ammo. Get some of us repositioned down here while the melee is going on. See if we can use them as a screen to get around and start shooting on their flank. And melee is the way to go right now. So the heck with this. We're coming in melee. We've got them in full retreat. Oh my lord, was that the toughest battle I think I've done in ages. Took almost a big amount of the timer up. Haven't proceeded that far on a timer in a while. Somehow, that was not very heroic in my book. It has to be what you call a Pyrrhic victory, if anything ever was. Well, we didn't lose as many men as I expected. That's why it's considered heroic, because of the numbers we kicked out. But we still lost a significant amount of men. But the thing we did do is Genoa is now out of Europe. A new nation arises. Nation destroyed Genoa, and a new nation arises. Pirates. So that's what's happened in Cuba. The pirates now have a new nation. Let's go take a look over there. Yep. We don't know how. I assume they just take over their forces. I wonder, since they don't have a navy here, let's just take out their port so they cannot build any kind of navy. So that actually is a good thing. Genoa has been defeated with that one. Awesome. I think that's going to make it easier to try and take over Cuba when the chance comes. And since we're over here to the Americas, oh, he's already moved. I've changed my mind on this one. Rather than waste the effort chasing down this unit, I think what's going to be better over here in the Cherokee Nations is move back, get that big battle happening, try to strike a big blow to their home territories. Let this one go out here and decimate whoever it wants, but it will not be able to recruit and maintain forces as well as if we take out their home territory. So that's the plan here. We're going to reverse direction now. I wish I had thought of that last turn instead of this turn, but that's what I've decided. We're going to move up and have the big battle with both our units against at least two, and if he comes in to reinforce, it's going to be the big mega Cherokee battle coming up soon. Okay, and this unit will be retreated. So we actually, I think, have done what we need to do as far as battles after that last Genoa battle. What we will do is we'll get these guys back and going, and they are recruiting. So what we need to do is get back over here to this battle on Corsica, get our units replenishing as quickly as possible. We got the funds to do it, and then I'm going to take a look around, see how we can hopefully support our infrastructure. One thing I will do is recruit units in India. We've already recruited units in the Americas, and I'm probably going to send this army once it heals down to India, and we'll just kind of keep recruiting armed units up here to help replace that army. So we'll just go ahead and build all the Scots that we can to help bolster our army up here. I'll also just be recruiting if I have the right kind of units. Now we'll also then upgrade the barracks here so we can continue recruiting in Paris, just so we aren't left too thin up on the continent, especially if one of these other major powers changes their mind on what they need to do. So much for economic recovery. We're building infantry units to help with our offensives here. And that leaves us with a little over 5,000. We're going to take a look around. We can work on this craft workshop. We can start upgrading our territory down here, because I'm going to wait until we see if this unit can move through Mysore before I invest too much here. So yeah, the rest of the investments will be in the Americas. Upgrade the trading port there in Hispaniola. Okay, I'm not really seeing any cheap and minor things up around, unless it's up around the areas of conflict. So for the moment we'll hold off, although I do feel that if I'm going to do anything, we'll spend it here to upgrade that building here, and we'll upgrade this farm, and that pretty much takes care of our funds. So we're ready for the next turn. We're going to go ahead and take it. Ministers need replacing. I can't recall if we did that already. We did for this turn. We're projected to have a nice income again. Hopefully no blockades appear. So let's at least get us to the next turn before we make a determination on if we need to call this episode after that super draining battle or not. So we'll see you on the other side of this turn. Okay, Russia would like to do, oh my goodness, do they want to do some trading? And they just want to trade me junk for it. We're just going to pass that one up. All right, our iron workshops in India have been damaged. That's just going to be happening here for a while till we secure the territory. And then we have a bunch of our rakes, I believe, that have had successful missions. Our big recruitment, another second rate. Nothing was constructed this time. And we gained some new traits, +1 zeal in India. 3-man bottle. This man's wine, lack of... So this naval officer is feeling bored and is taken to the bottle. Isn't that funny? Alright, so there's a lot going on. We're going to take a look next turn at what's going on in India. We're going to take a turn at what's going on with the Cherokee in the Americas. And we're going to work on shifting some troops around on the continent. And let's hope that because of these shifts and moving of navies and infantry units, that nobody feels we are underwhelming in strength and makes a move on us on the continent, because my focus is now going to be in the Americas and is going to be in India next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed that exhausting battle. And yeah, I don't always play smart. I don't always play amazing. We don't always win easily. Sometimes the AI and the computer takes me by surprise when I'm not paying as much attention as I should. So let me know what your thoughts are on what happened, what's been happening. Hope you give me a thumbs up and hope you're enjoying this playthrough. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching.